What is HR? Human resource. Before, we used personnel administration, but now it's human resource that replaces it since early 20th century. John Elton, the father of HR, and also the father of scientific management, discuss about this HR. But in the public service, the next slide. In public service, next slide. As we know, in the public service, we call it Administration and Human Resource Department, which everybody knows is an engine room of any MDAs. If we don't have, is that department that discuss about our responsibility. What are we going to do? Where are you going to be? If you are deployed, the first place is to go to the Administration and Human Resource Department. And this department, within any organization, is responsible for the managing the employee life cycle. There is no way you will be in service without having one or two things to do with admin and human resource. So that's why it's recognized as engine room of any MDAs. So I would like to go in line with the public service. Next slide. With the departments have 5 units, 5 divisions. And as a civil servant, by the time you move from the time you join the service and the time you are out of the service, there's no way you will not have issue one or two things to do with that department, which is admin and human resource in Lagos State Public Service. Now, every one of us knows that we have 5 units: learning and development unit, HR measures and accountability, workforce planning unit, employee and industrial relation unit, and general administration unit. If we look at the 5 units, learning and development, we train to improve employee skill. HR measures accountability unit, they measure our performance, evaluating us, and thinking about how we can move. That's why we have the issue of SPADED. Workforce planning, deal with recruitment, selecting, and placing us where we'll be usable. Employee and industrial relation, resolving where if there's any conflict. And general administration, providing our needs. When you look at all these 5 admin, there's no way we not have anything to do with them. As you are all aware, the first question we should ask ourselves is that, let's look at the topic again, HR responsibility in determining salaries and personnel budget. Why are we working? Why do employees work? The next slide. We work to earn a living, to build career, to connect with others. Working place is a social environment. And the first thing when you are given a letter of appointment, and let's be sincere with ourselves, the area we look at it is how much is our salary. Because your salary will determine your living. What is salary? It's the payment that employee receive from an employer for their work. It's usually fixed and controlled by the salary structure, regulated from time to time as it is in the public service. And wages is the one we are doing per hour, weekly or bi-weekly. So the difference between either you are collecting wages or you are collecting salary is to earn a living. And in public service, we need to look at this. That how did you come about this salary? Let's move to the next slide. The salary in public service, the salary structure is determined by the government and labor union representative at the federal level, in which the labor representative, the TUC, for example, in Nigeria, the TUC and NSC, TUC, Trade Union Congress, and NSC, Nigerian Labour Congress, they discuss with the government to fix the minimum wages. And once they fix that one, then they move to various states. Then let's come about to Lagos State. By the time they have determined the minimum wages at the federal level, then it gets to the Lagos State government, where the laborers and the Nigeria are going to meet the government, and government is going to constitute a body, a committee, to look at the salary structure, because the salary structures will always have effect on one allowance or the other. What I mean is that most of the allowances, they are percentage of the basics. We will get there. In Lagos State, we have about 29 different salary structures, in which I'm going to send the slide to have the salary structures, what makes the salary structure. It discusses about the basic and other allowances. Let's move to the next slide. When you look at the next slide, you will see the different salary structure, and they connote it with this. If you look at your payslip, when you look at up there, you are going to see all these signs. Either you're on CCS or LASTMA, CCS Judiciary. We have different salary structure in Lagos State. But by the time you look at it, and we have the salary structure comprises of the basic and allowances. The basic and allowances. By the time you look at the salary structure, because of time, there's no way of being able to open all the salary structure. Let's move to the next slide as an example where you see the salary structure of, for next slide. This is the salary structure of the judiciary. When you look at it, you will see different, the basic salary, rent subsidy, transport, mail, utility, furniture, hazard. This salary structure, when you look at the public service rule, it talks about the salaries, and it discusses about it that when you are given an appointment, we have some places that you've given offer and acceptance. When you are given an offer, you are going to write a letter that I'm ready to accept or not. And what are the things that determine whether you are going to accept it or not is the salary. You look at the amount they are going to put there. If you're ready to accept it, then you'll be given the letter of appointment. You'll be given the letter of appointment. And the date of assumption of the duty is the commencement of the date of payment of salary, in line with Public Service Rule 050102. And 05102 says that the date of assumption of duty, from that day, that's when they start counting when you'll be due for the salary. And when you look at 050203, that one talks about incremental date. The next slide. It talks about incremental date. And in service, you know, we have two incremental dates, and that's what people are calling step. Wait, that's what people are calling step. Once you know your incremental date, either you are 11 or 17. At the second anniversary, if you are 11, at the second anniversary, there will be a change in your step. If you are 17, at the second anniversary, there will be a change. But when you look at our salary, we have the basic salary and allowances. What is that allowance? It's a monetary benefit other than salary granted to an officer for a specific purpose. If we look at the public service rule, it discusses about the basic salary and allowances. And these allowances we are talking about, we have three different types of allowances in service. in line with public service rules. We have statutory, job-related or professional allowance, and general allowance. Let's pick them one by one. Go to the next slide. The next slide talk about statutory, because you are given an appointment as a civil servant. What you are going to see there is your basic and statutory allowances. What are the statutory allowances? Because you are given an appointment as a civil servant, you are entitled to all these allowances. That is the rent subsidy, utility allowance, transport allowance, furniture allowance, entertainment allowance, domestic allowance. And this is statutory allowance. That is because you are given an appointment as a public servant. You are entitled to this. That is your basic and statutory allowance. Let's move to the next slide. Then after the statutory allowance, there's one we call job-related allowance. Because of the nature of your job, for example, if you are given an appointment and you are working in the health sector, let's pick a medical doctor. If you are given an appointment as a medical doctor, you'll be collecting the basic statutory allowance and job-related or professional allowance, where you were entitled to call duty, teaching allowance, peculiar allowance, clinical allowance, hazard allowance. And we have different, for example, if you're a medical doctor, you are working in a ministry, you will not be entitled to clinical allowance, you will be entitled to non-clinical allowance. As a state council, you're entitled to book allowance. A last man is entitled to shift allowance and hazard allowance. So they will be collecting basic, statutory allowance and job-related or professional allowance. So when you look at this, all these allowances here, they are all job-related. So if you are an admin officer, your salary is going to be basic plus statutory allowance. But if you're a nurse, your salary will be basic, statutory, plus some job-related allowance, a shift allowance, teaching allowance, hazard allowance, peculiar allowance, and they are going to add it to your salary. But there's another one. Let's move to the third one, which is general allowance. Because the government, you are given a specific assignment, travel to Oyo or Abuja to represent government. They are going to pay you accommodation allowance. They will pay you extra code. As a nurse that is working in hospital, they are entitled to uniform allowance. Secretaries, government is paying them responsibility allowance. So because of the nature of your job and because of the special assignment given to you, that's why you are entitled to this general allowance. And this general allowance, they are not part of your salary. You cannot see it in your payslip. They are going to pay it specially at a particular time. Let's pick, for example, uniform allowance. Uniform allowance is being paid to nurses once in a year. So that means if you look at their monthly salary, you will not see it there until when the government says we are paying it in a specific month, and they will put it in their salary. Once they, for example, if government says they are going to pay it in June, once they paid it in June, out of it. That's general allowance. So our salary consists of the basic, statutory, and job-related or professional allowance. Depends on the nature of your job. Let's move to the next slide. And this is what I explained here. What are the components of salary? The component of salary is the basic salary plus statutory allowance While some are basic salary plus statutory allowance plus job-related or professional allowance. Yeah, let's move to the next slide. And then the next slide. Now, what determines, yeah. What determines our placement? We have a document that we call Schemes of Service. It's not an issue that Mr. A will come in, they will give you one nomenclature, Mr. B will come in. We have document, a scheme of service, federal scheme of service. Though we have some cadre that are peculiar to Lagos state government. For example, law enforcement officers, traffic cadre, law enforcement environment officers cadre, law enforcement, we have law enforcement environment superintendent cadre. We have different cadre. And what determines the placement? Now, the nomenclature of each grade level, what we call nomenclature, that the name they will call your post when you're on this specific grade level. For example, if you're 15 admin officer, admin and human resource officer, everybody knows you will be called assistant director HR grade level 15. That's the nomenclature of each grade. The scheme of service will determine the nomenclature of grade level on each cadre. If you're level 15, a medical doctor, level 15, a medical doctor is a principal medical officer 2. While level 15 of admin officer is assistant director, admin and human resource officer grade level 15. So scheme of service will determine your, I don't understand when somebody was trying to tell us, I think when we are discussing and he's trying to tell us that there's a cadre they call engineering cadre. There's no cadre they call engineering cadre. If you look at the scheme, you will see mechanical engineer, that's a cadre. Electrical engineer, chemical engineer, those are different cadre. So we have different cadres in the scheme. And your grade level, at the point of entry, the scheme of service will determine the grade level at the point of entry. Because the grade level at the point of entry will determine your salary at the point of entry. And that's what they are going to put in your letter of appointment. And it's also discussed about the method of entry. And what are the qualifications you must have obtained before they can know where they are going to place you. Because where they are going to place you will determine your salary. And your grade level will determine your salary. For example, if you're level 8 nursing, let's assume your level point of entry for nursing staff is level 10. If you're a nursing officer grade level 10, your salary is different from admin officer, which the point of entry is grade level 08. And it's also discussed about your movement. Admin officer, their movement from 8 to 9 is advancement. While finance and account officer 2, their movement from 8 to 9 is by promotion. And those are the things that will determine increase in your salary. So those are the things that will determine your placement. And your placement will determine your salary. So this is also the qualification at the point of entry. So level 8 nurse and level 8 medical record officer, let's higher medical record officer, level 8, his salary will be different from admin and human resource grade level 8. So you must determine where they place you, your cadre, the nomenclature will determine where they are going, and those are the things that will determine your salary. The next slide. So those are the things that determine your cadres. We have different cadres. I know in the scheme, we have even up to 300 different cadres, especially in the health sectors. They have different cadres. So I don't understand, and I'm appealing to people that we should try to understand the cadre. Don't just assume that they are all engineers. You don't say that. And another thing that we used to say in service is that somebody is moving from sub cadre to officer's cadre. I don't think I've read that one in my own thing. Categorize some cadre as a sub cadre. And I asked the question that if you are saying one cadre is a sub cadre of one cadre, and you are saying somebody is an executive officer general duty, and you're saying that one is going to officer's cadre, somebody you have called executive officer, you said executive officer general duty, and you are saying is going to officer's cadre. Which cadre is that officer before? So if you want to state about cadre, we have different cadres. We have different cadres. So I know executive officers general duties cadre is a cadre on his own. And somebody that is talking about mechanical engineering cadre, that's what is another cadre on its own. Technical officer, even if you look at the scheme where they have different technical officer, they put it there. Technical officer, mechanical. Technical officer, electrical. Technical officer, they state different categories of cadres. And I used to ask some people, when you are saying one is a sub cadre, I will ask you, what is the sub cadre of messenger? So all cadres are called cadres. So calling one is a sub of someone, no, there's nothing like a sub of cadre. And that's why we are discussing that conversion is a choice. You are the one that know where you are heading to, provided you are alive and you have prerequisite to be on that cadre. So for you to, what are the things that will determine your salary? Your cadres, your qualification, your duties. So that duties, me as an admin officer, I have my duties. A nurse, they have their duties. A last man, they have their duties. Because of the nature of job of a last man officer, that is law enforcement officer, Shafi, because of their duty, they are collecting shift allowance and hazard. And also because of the years in service. If we're on the same, if I join service on grade level 8, and somebody has been in service, if all things being equal, by the time you are moving from 8 to 9, because of the years you are spending, your salary will be increasing by step, and by promotion. Post and grade level determine your salary. You don't expect level 10 admin officer and level 8 admin officer to be earning the same salary. So those are the things that determine salary. So when you look at all those things, it is the responsibilities of admin and human resource officer to place people on the cadre, to know whether this one, where you are given their appointment, to know what grade level, what is the nomenclature, what is the, because there is a salary structure, and they are the ones that are going to place the officer that we employ admin officers on grade level 08. We employ 4, and the salary in line with the salary structure is this plus contributing pension. So it's the responsibilities of admin to determine the salaries. It's just for finance and account officer to do the calculation when you have the salary structure. So it's the responsibility of those of us in admin and human resources to determine the salary in line with salary structure. Next slide. Next slide. Now, in service, as I've discussed at the beginning, that is the responsibility for an admin officer. Because throughout your service, your employee life cycle, they have something to do with it. When you are given the first stage, when you are given an appointment letter, they are going to put it there that this is your grade level. Your monthly salary will be written in your appointment letter. Then when you assume duty, this will be determined when the salary will be paid. And when they are preparing the nominal, they will put it there. So with effect from so date. You will not be given an appointment letter or you assume duty without picking the date, because that date is going to determine your salary. So it's the responsibility of those of us who are new. Once you have the salary structure, then you'll be able to know this is level 8, so. So you look at the salary structure and pay the officer because you are going to do nominal role in seniority. So when you are doing into seniority, your grade level, your step will determine where they are going to place you. And when you assume duty, we have seen a situation where two people were employed on the same day, and some of them assume duty on Friday, while some assume duty on Tuesday. So assumption of duty will determine seniority from date they were employed, they assumed duty. So it's the admin officer that will look at it and know that, okay, this A assumed duty before B, this A will be number 1, B will be number 2. Next slide. So then, after you assume duty, the third thing is confirmation. The prerequisite for confirmation, when you are going to pass the exam, your SPADEF, your medical fitness, you are going to do all these things. So it's the admin that will know whether you are confirmed. If you are not confirmed, you are not due for promotion. You are not due for promotion if you are not confirmed. You have assumed duty. Then admin will know when you are due for confirmation. And they will place you that so is due for confirmation. And your step will be changing yearly. Yearly, as we have discussed, from the date of your assumed duty, your first year anniversary, second year anniversary, your step will be changing. As your step is changing, your salary will be changing. So we have the salary structure that discuss about the steps from 1 to 11, 1 to 17. We discuss about it. So your incremental date, 1 or 17, will be determined by the date you assume duty. So next slide. So after your promotion and your step is moving, for example, if your level that you are supposed to spend from level from level 7 to level 14 which is 3 years. So after 3 years, you know you are due for promotion, provided you have, if you have any disciplinary measure that when you are not going to do promotion, you must fulfill the prerequisite for promotion. And when the admin officer, the people they are going to state the name of the people that are eligible for promotion. And your grade level will change. Your grade level will change. If it's 2 years, your grade level will change. If it's 4 years, your grade level will change. And along the line, we have some people that do conversion. They are going to do conversion. And that's an area where we need to look into. The public service will discuss that if you have additional qualification before you, that is the prerequisite for that cadre you are going to. But conversion is a personal decision. Nobody can say convert to this thing. That's why when we are discussing about the issue of a conversion and the redesignation, the designation is at the government instance. But conversion is your choice. It's your choice. Nobody can force you that you must convert to this or the level. Provided you have the prerequisite, they will look into it and they will make provision for you. So it's the responsibility, when you look at all the stages we have been mentioning, it's the responsibility of those who are in admin and human resource that are going to place you. Is it possible for you to do conversion or advancement and without changing in your salary? No. For example, we have seen a situation where somebody was appointed, I think that person was on the level 4, head attendant. And this head attendant passed ICANN. And we now have issue. And I'm of the view that they should advance that officer to grade level 10. Because what the scheme says for you to be on grade level 10 as senior finance and account officer, once you have passed the professional exam, the scheme does not say that you must have BSc HND plus ICANN. And I stand my ground that what the scheme says, unless if scheme changed today. So we need to align with the scheme. We have seen a situation where some people will be arguing that no, because you don't have BSc, I said that if they change it, we will align with it. But what we have in the scheme today is that for you to be on this level if you pass high camp. So by the time you look at all these stages, it's the responsibility. If you did not pass through all these stages, how will your salary change? So those who are an admin and human resource officer, what you need to do is that to have the salaries structure and you use it to manage how you think. It's what is garbage in, garbage out. It's what you give to them in the finance and account they are going to use to prepare the salary. If they don't know your nomenclature, they don't know your cadre, they don't know your grade level, they don't know the salary structure, you cannot say level 8 and admin officer and level 8 law enforcement officer traffic, they will be collecting salary. They will be collecting the same salary. No. The salary structure defines different salaries. A last man officer, nurses, state council, medical officer, pharmacy, even in the health sector, you will see level 15, about let's say 10, level 16, and they are earning salaries. So even if they are on the same step, because they are different cadre. You cannot say the pharmacist on level 15, a nurse on level 15, a medical doctor on level 15, a medical record on level 15, a medical lab scientist on level 15, all of them collecting. No, they have the different salary structures. Even the medical doctor in the health sector and the medical doctor in the ministry, they are not earning the same salary. They are not earning the same salary. Because one is collecting clinical, one other is collecting non-clinical. Let's move to the next slide. What is nominal role? Nominal role is a comprehensive list of employees in ministry, agency, commission, and etc. Nominal role is used for its administrative control of data of staff from time to time. If your name is not in the nominal role, that means you are not a staff of that ministry. And that's why we always advise to update your nominal role. For administrative control, to know the number of staff, to know the date of appointment, to know the date of, and it's always baffles some people when they need information of an officer and you are looking for that officer to collect that information. That means we don't have comprehensive nominal role. If you have comprehensive nominal role, you must have all that information. And if you're in a situation where you control, you manage it, you have monthly nominal role, not until when you want to do the personnel budget, you start updating your nominal role, you start going up and down. Because the nominal role determines the payroll for accounting purpose. Payroll is our next chart from the nominal role. The nominal role is comprehensive. All the information of the officers that you want, you must have it on your nominal role. So the date you join the service, the date you are doing your promotion, your present appointment date, the date you are going to leave the service. So if you have issue with your nominal role, let me tell you, if you have issue with your nominal role, they are going to have issue with the payroll. But if you have a comprehensive nominal role, you will have comprehensive payroll. Next slide. So when you look at the nominal role, it must consist your surname, your first name, middle name, date of birth, date of first appointment, date of confirmation, your grade level, date of present appointment, your state of origin, qualification, present designation, religion, gender, oracle number, employee number, everything. So that by their looking at it without calling any officer, they will know when you are going to leave the service. They will know where your qualification. They know your qualification. They know where they are going to place you. It's not an issue of go and call me Mr. Hay. What do you call that? If you are updating your nominal role, if somebody is converting, what is the qualification you have that you want to use to convert from one grade level to another? You have it. So nominal role, if you have a comprehensive nominal role, then it will be easy for them to pick payroll from it and add your salary in line with the salary structure. Next slide. As you see, updated nominal will give the true pictures of the staff trend, category of staff, which can be used to prepare the personnel budget. Because there's no way, if you don't update your nominal, you have issue to prepare the personnel budget. Because the first thing that you need to do when you want to prepare the personnel budget is your nominal, updated nominal. That's why at any time they want to prepare the personnel budget, they will be specific. Use so month nominal. Because they know that at a particular time, everybody will be somewhere. So the nominal, if you have an updated nominal, it will be easier for you to prepare the personnel budget. It's just transforming the nominal into Excel. That's nominal. That's the personnel budget. You need to first of all transform the nominal into Excel. And that's why we have the line that we call actual. Let's move to the next slide. Payroll is the process by which employer, that is government, calculate the total amount that employee must be paid in a specific period. The number of staff you have, imagine with their step. So if you don't have a good nominal, automatically you are going to create a problem for those who are in finance and accounting. But if you update your nominal, it will be easier for them to extract the payroll with the salary structure, and they'll be able to tell you this is the total amount of money they are going to pay in this ministry for this year, in this ministry for this month. But by the time you have issue or you miss somebody from nominal, obviously they are going to miss it from the payroll. Let's move to the next slide. So the payroll, you will have the employee information, that is the name, the oracle number, the grade level, the gross pay, all the deduction, 8% contribution, taxes, mortgage, all those things. They will deduct it there and they will give you your net pay. But if you miss the name of somebody that's on level 14, you now place it on 4. Automatically, you will have issue here. So if you have issue with nominal, you will still have issue with payroll. It's not possible for you to have comprehensive nominal and for them to now have issue on the payroll, because what they need to do is that to extract all what they need from the nominal, add the salary to it in line with the salary structure, and that's what they call payroll, to know how much is the total deduction, how much is the employee contribution, and find the net pay. Next slide. And what is personnel budget? Because we have been talking about the salary. When you merge all the salary, that what the government is going to pay in the incoming year, personnel budget and its integral part of the state budget under the recurrent expenditure, which consists of the salary, wages, total retirement benefit, contributing pension, and severance allowance in a specific year. Personnel budgets talk about the margin of the salaries, the wages, those who are going to be, when they are paying per hour, weekly, those of us that are paying us monthly, then the total retirement benefits and contributing pension, and also the severance allowance, which severance allowance is the amount being paid to political office holder after they have served in a specific year. The money we are going to pay them, the politicians or the commissioners, the SA, the money we are going to pay them after they have served, that's severance allowance. So that's the personnel budget. And when you look at the budget is either the capital and recurrent. Another recurrent, we have personnel cost and overhead. Overhead is the one we are using for the running of office. The personnel is the one they are going to use to pay our salaries. Salaries, wages have been defined in one of the slides. I've defined that one. So the next slide. So, and I also discussed about contributing pension. You know that the employer will pay 10% while employee 8%. And some people still made the mistake of calculating it. They look at the find the 10% of the gross. Is the 10% of basic rent and transport, DRT. When you find it, say, look at this one. I said, if your basic is 20,000, your rent is 20,000, transport is 40,000. Add everything together, it gives you 80 times 10 over 100 for employer, because they are paying that one. No, sorry, the employer is 10%, while employee is 8%. So you calculate it. The basic rent and transport times for employee times 8 over 100 or times 0.08. For employer, 80 times 0.1 over 100. So contributing pension, what the element you need there is the basic salary, rent subsidy, transport allowance. Add everything together, multiply it, and you get your contributing pension. Next slide. I've discussed this. This is the total amount of money set aside to pay political office holder after they have served. Next slide. Compares details on how to prepare personnel budget in the next slide. Let me move to the next slide. When you have the comprehensive nominal rule, the first thing is present nominal rule, you transform it to actual column. Because what we are talking about, the nominal rule to actual column in personnel budget, that is, where are you presently? Where are you presently? Your proposed column is where are you going to be next year? Actual where you are, proposed where you will be next year. So when actual is equals to proposed, all you are saying is that there's not going to be retirement, nobody is withdrawing from service, no resignation, nobody is coming back into the system. So that's when your actual is equals to proposed. But when actual is greater than proposed, then it means there's some people that are with us, they are not going to be with us next year, either by retirement, voluntary withdrawal from service, resignation, or some. So if your actual is greater than proposed, it means there's some people that are with us and they're not going to be with us next year. When actual is less than proposed, it means there's new recruitment. Then people who are on study leave, on leave of absence, they are coming back into the system. Proposed column is the position of the nominal role in the incoming year. It means some people who are on level 8, they may be on level 9. Some people on level 15, may be on level 16. Some people on level 6. So what's the difference between actual and proposed? Actual is our position presently. Proposed is our position in the incoming year. Next slide. Thank you very much. And because of the time, so I have to manage the time and see so that everybody will understand. We have time for question and answer. Thank you very much and God bless. So waiting for the question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Otubu, for that impactful session. So if you have any question, please raise up your hand or make use of the chat box so that we can call you. So any questions so far, or anything that I don't understand? I believe I'm audible. Please let me know in the chat box if I'm audible enough. And I want you to use your emoji to give kudos to Mr. Otubu. Make use of your emoji, please. Let me see your emoji. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, sir, Mr. Away. Thank you, sir, Mr. Sonny. It's only Mr. Sonny and Mr. Away is enjoying. Okay, thank you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, good. Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Okoli, please unmute yourself, Mrs. Okoli.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Mr. Otubu. Thank you for delivering. Now, my question is on the pension contribution. You are saying it's calculated on the BRT, 10%. Do we add the 10% that the government is giving? Then the 10% that will be deducted from the staff, we add it together to get what our contributing pension is per month. Is that what you are saying? I just want clarity on that. Thank you.
Okay. Hold on, sir. Sir, I don't know. I want to know how you want to answer the question. Is it in a compile or you want to answer them one after the other, sir?
Let me answer them one after the other, so we will not mark.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
You see, the question of the BRT is basic rent and transport. You know, when we are preparing personnel budget, we are talking about government, how much is government going to pay. We are only concerned about the 10% of basic rent and transport. Because the 8%, they are going to deduct that one from our own salary. So when you are preparing personnel budget, you are concerned about 10% that is coming from the employer, that is the government. So you just add your basic rent and transport and you multiply it by 0.1, 0.1, which is the same thing as 10/100. You add everything together, find the 10% of it when you are preparing the personnel budget. But when you want to know what they are deducting from your own salary, then that's when you calculate 8%, which is 0.08. That is 8/100. That is what they are deducting from your own salary. But 10% is what government is paying, keeping aside for you. So at every month, 8% plus 10% of basic rent and transport. So the area you need to look into is that, you know, we have different salary structure. Even if you're a medical doctor or consultant level 17, your basic rent and transport and level 17 is going to be the same thing. The deduction is going to be the same thing because all of them are being deducted from statutory allowance, the basic and statutory allowance, if their steps are the same thing. So 10% from government side, 8% from individual, from employee. Thank you.
Mrs. Okoli.
Thank you.
Okay? Are you okay with that response?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Azan. Mr. Azan Taiwo, unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Honorable Mr. Otubu, Guru in Staff Matters. Thank you for that insightful and motivational lecture that has given us confidence. Sir, my question is, I know maybe I joined a bit late, maybe you must have touched it. I want you to re-emphasize on it more for us, for the purpose of complicity. The issue of these people who are on study leave for one thing or the other, and they will be coming at the end of the year for the incoming year, for the proposed year, that they've not yet been converted to that particular post we are proposing for them. At least they are on study leave. On their coming back, they still have to face PMB to ratify and accept their certificate to be upgraded to the next level. When we are preparing the personnel budget for that next year, normally we are directed to capture them, having knowing that they will be coming down with conversion, elevation, or nomenclature, designation, change of cadre. How do we implement? Because most of the times, if we include it in our personnel budget, at the staff and training, at times they normally drop it. How do we put it so that the staff will accept that at least these people are coming back next year? And for the fact that they are coming back next year, we are making a proposal for them that when they are coming back, they will be resuming, knowing fully that in our own commission, HSC, we have to ratify their cost of training. Definitely, they are going to be elevated because at times HSC will ask from us first their vacancy returns, whether we have proposed for them before they can capture their convention. I want you to emphasize that line for us, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Zhang. You see, you don't make provision for an officer who have not completed the program. What we recognize in the system is that you must have shown your results that you are through with the program before they can make any provision for you. Even if you are coming with to whom it may concern, they should not make provision for you. Because to whom it may concern is you have finished the exam and it's still awaiting Senate approval. That's not a result. Because at the end of the day, you may have a receipt or any other thing. You don't make provision for such officer. It's an assumption that you feel the officer is going to through with the program this year. And the officer may not be through with the program. Before you make provision for an officer, you must have an evidence of the result that you have completed the program and you have put up in black and white to tell you that I need to inform you that I'm through with the program. I attach the following relevant document before you can make provision for an officer. You don't make provision for an officer on assumption because I said I'm going to spend 4 years. And when the 4 years is through, 4 years of the program, and whether you are through with the program, they are two different things. You are given an approval to do a program of 4 years. And because the 4 years, you are now coming back, they should make provision for you. You must have completed the program and attach a result certificate to it that you are through with the program before you can make provision. You don't make provision for an officer who is saying, I've completed the program. You are using man to say you have completed the work, or you are presenting to whom it may concern that this officer has through with the program, but the result is awaiting Senate approval. That's not result because you have put it there that awaiting Senate approval. Unless an officer are through with the program and attach relevant document to it, that's why we said that conversion is a choice. And you are the one that are going to say, I want to apply to this cadre because I have the prerequisite of this cadre. You attach all relevant documents to it before they can make provision for. Because if you are making provision for an officer that are not true, and if at the end of the day, the Senate did not approve the result, that means we are just inflating the figures. You know, we are talking about the costs. If you're on level 4 and they're making provision for you on level 8, and at the end of the day, you are not through with the program, we are creating another problem. So before you make provision, you must see an evidence that the officer has completed the program and attach all the relevant and you apply before you make provision for that officer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Taiwo, I think your question will be answered very well. Okay. Mrs. Adelaja. Unmute yourself, ma.
Good evening, Mr. Jamiu. Can you hear me, please?
Ma.
We can
Good
hear
evening,
you,
ma.
Mrs.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening. Mr. Otubu, well done. Thank you so much for the presentation. And I want to ask a question, and the second one is clarification. The question I want to ask is on this non-bonus accident, non-accident bonus that we normally worked for the drivers. Is it a job-related allowance or a general allowance? That's number one.
General allowance.
Is under general allowance. Okay, so like the
Yes.
responsibility allowance. Okay.
Yes.
So the clarification is on this contributory pension.
Yes.
The one that will be paid by the government, I think it has been increased from 10% to maybe 12%. I don't know. Please, I will need clarification on that. There was a memo that came out at the beginning of this year.
Memo? There's no circular to
there
that.
Was a yes, circular. I think there was a circular on that at the beginning.
The last budget we did, we still use 8 and 10. There's no, I've not set my eyes on any circular that is, because there will be circular audit if they are going to increase. You know, the question is that it's possible there's a circular from the federal government. You know, Lagos State needs to adopt it because we are talking about money. If you remember when we are talking about contributing pension in 2007. There's a circular to that effect. And when they review it from 7.5 to 8 and 10, there's a circular because it always have cost implication. So for now, it may be speculation, but I've not set my eyes on the circular. And the last budget they did, we still use 8 and 10. Thank you, man. I'm with you.
Okay. Mrs. Adela Jama, are you okay with that? Okay. As we are waiting for her, Mr. I don't know if you okay, Mr. Odusonya, unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Otubu Oluwagbemiga. I really enjoyed your presentation. Well, we've always known you to be a very guru in admin and personal budget. My question is in two lines. One is based on what Mr. Taiwo has asked. Where personal budget is prepared early in the year. For example, we have prepared 2026 budget. So for an officer who got approval to go to school and hoping to finish in the year 2026, early part of 2026, if we are saying that we should wait until when they bring their certificate, are we not going to deprive them of their conversion? If they now finish in 2026 or late 2025, after we might have submitted and completed personnel budget, would that not indict us as admin people that we are the one that debar them from getting their conversion done? That's number one. Number two, now we have people who have gone for anesthetic training. They are anesthetic technicians to be trained, and then what grade level are we going to give to them, and what is the scheme of service for them, for their own cadre? Those are my two questions. Thank you.
Yeah. You see, the question of the issue of going to school, the question is that, as you know, that we always prepare personnel budget once in a year. And then the issue is that you cannot, when you say you want to go to school, your purpose of going to school is to obtain certificates. And there's no evidence to show. How will you make provision for an officer who have not shown you results? You cannot make provision for an officer who have not shown any results. You must show the results before you make provision. We are not depriving anybody. You know, that's why I said conversion is your choice. We cannot say because you say you want to go to school and you said I'm true. That's why I said, if you said you want to go for 4 years program and at the end of the 4 years, you don't have any result to show, you are just presenting to whom it may concern, awaiting Senate approval. Can you use awaiting Senate approval to look for a job? No, because if they make provision for you, if somebody that's on level 4 and they make provision for you on level 8, and when they are calculating salary of level 8, and at the end of the day, the Senate said that you have not fulfilled the prerequisite for graduation. So what are we trying to do? We are just inflating the figures. Every one of us in service. So it is advisable for you to obtain your certificate, and before you present, and they will make provision for you. The government cannot be making provision for everybody, increasing. If government allow that, you will see that your budget performance will be less than 50%. So it is advisable for everybody to present your certificate. You are true with the program. If you are true with the program, you are true with the program. Awaiting Senate approval is not a result. You are not true with the program. Because every one of us know what you need to fulfill before you can be given a result. Somebody that are true with the program and you still owe the school fee, and you want, and they did not release your certificate, and you want government to employ you with what? So that one. On the issue of that, you see, there is a lot of cadre that are springing up now. And I know the Lagos State government, when I was in the staff, the Lagos State government, they set up a committee that they are trying to review the scheme of service and look at some cadres that are peculiar to us in Lagos State so that we can have our own scheme of service. So we can have our own scheme of service. We have some cadres that are on circulars that are not, because the scheme of service is 2003. I mean the federal one that we are using. And we are now in 2025. We have some cadres that are peculiar to Lagos State. We have some cadres that are on circular. So I know Lagos State is working on it to have a uniform scheme of service that we're able to take out. Let me tell you, every year, a lot of innovations, some cadre will be springing up. And they need to look at it, how they are going to. But what I know as technical cadre, the technical cadre, the pharmacy technician, the X-ray technician, all of them, their point of entry is level 7. If they are from School of Health Technology, and from 7 to 14. But presently, we don't have any scheme. But I know Lagos State is working on it. I know Lagos State is working to have their own scheme of service. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Please check the chat box and fill the attendance sheet, please. Thank you. Any question again before I run through the chat box? Mr. Odusoya, do you still have any question, or you raise your hand down? Okay. Mr. Ayorinde Shegun, you said you have question, so let me unmute you. Okay, it's not the call again. Yes, okay, let me run through the chat box. Mr. Lamidi from General Hospital. Do you have any question, Mr. Lamidi? Mr. Lamidi, do you have any question, or you are introducing yourself? If you want to introduce, just click on the link, the attendance link. Click on the link and fill the link. Click on the link, please. Okay, sir, Mr. Atu, someone was said in the chat board that you should please explain more on the personnel budget, the personnel budget, sir. So I don't know if you can just quickly run through on that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
As I've said, that personnel budget is the, let me define this on this way, is the total amount of money set aside by the government to pay salaries, wages, gratuities, and severance allowance in a specific year. So when you are preparing the personnel budget, we must consider the nominal role. And the nominal role is saying, where are we, that is the staff, this year? And when you look at the personnel budget, we always prepare it in this form, actual and proposed. Where are we this year? Where are we going to be next year? It's possible you're on level 9 this year, and next year you are going to be on level 10. And it's possible you're on level 9 this year, and next year you are going to still be on level 9. So your position this year and your position next year. Because if you're level 9 this year and you're level 10 next year, what matters is that your salary is going to be increased. And if you're level 9 this year and you're level 9 next year, your salary is also going to be increased by step. So the preparation of that salary, that is what I'm collecting this year and what I will be collecting next year, is personnel budget. Government to make provision for what I will be collecting next year, and they put it in the budget. Because they need to pay your salary. So what they are paying you and what they are going to pay you next year, that's personnel budget. And Also, overhead, that is the money the government will use in the running of the office. You will buy petrol, they will change your furniture, electricity, diesel, fan, all those things. That's overhead. And it has get to the level that some of the people believe that overhead is additional salary. It's for the running of the office. It's for the running of the office. So the personnel budget is total amount of money government set aside to pay salaries, wages, gratuities, pension, severance allowance in a specific year. That's personnel budget in layman. And they have column of actual proposed projection. Projection is the column where you have intention to recruit more staff in the incoming year. And now for this personnel budget, the one we did this year, that is, they want to know the cost implication for that projection. That is the number of people you are saying you want to recruit next year. What is the total cost of it? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, Mr. I don't know if you can check the chat box. I sent one circular to the chat box for you to
Okay.
say
Let me
something
see.
on it, or you check your WhatsApp, any of the two.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Let me see.
Mhm. As we are waiting for that, please click on the link.
Yes.
Click on the
Where
link and fill your attendance. Are you set, sir?
Yes, I'm set. This one.
Can you explain more on that, sir?
Yes.
What
You
explanation
see,
on
this
that?
one is talking about the pensioner. It's peculiar to pensioner. You know, when they increase our own salary, they did not increase their own, because you have it at the back of mind that we have some pensioners that have been with the system before the introduction of contributing pension in 2007. So those people who are retirees, because their salary is stagnant and the government feel that they need to assist them, that's why the government increased it by this percentage. That is, if you retired on grade level 17, they increase what you are earning by 28%. If you retire on grade level 1 to 16, they increase your salary by 20%. This is what this one is explaining. It's talking about the pensioner, not about the active service, not about those who are in the active service. It's for pensioner. Payment of 28 and 20% pension rate review for pensioner, not those who are in the active service. I know about this circular. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think we are all clear. So any question? Any question, please? Okay, Mr. Awe Jamiu. Unmute yourself, sir.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Otubu. Good evening, every person on this call.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I just need clarification on two issues that you've raised during the course of your facilitation here. The first one was the issue of non-existence, except I didn't hear you very well, of issue around sub-cadres, that every cadres stands to be a cadre, that sub-cadre are not necessarily sub-cadre as it were, except at this old time, maybe we're not getting it right. I know there are some cadres within the service, maybe because they have OND or HND, and they don't have a first degree. Their terminal grade level stop at 14, and incidentally, they are called sub-cadre until and when they have a BSc or they have their mandatory professional certificate on their profession to move beyond that. And let me be specific, at least for a matter of case study that has to do with procurement, and I'm sure you are aware about this. So I want you to explain to us what sub-cadre really means, if there is any, and if it is not a sub-cadre, the nomenclature we have always put in around it that has to be changed so that, the mindset to that one will be very, very clear. Then the second aspect again is the issue of somebody who had maybe a school SAT or an OND and apparently has gone to do ANAN or ICANN, and he has that, and he will just go from level 4 or level 5 or even 6 to level 10. So how it stands and where that person gets to, even with the non-existence of a first degree, I think explanation is also needed there so that we can get the best idea of what we are really doing, so that it will not be ambiguous when we're speaking to it. The third part of it, sir, if you permit me, Mr. Taiwo Hassan has spoken to issue, and that has to do with the commission as it is in S-Service Commission. I know there are issues around conversion. I know there are issues also around an upgrade. And this one now we have to be specific because of the peculiarity of that area. I know some doctors, when they go for their stuff like that, and they have to go for primaries 1 and 2 and stuff like that. When they come back, most often there is not even about conversion, it's about an upgrade. So, and some of them living from, yes, it has to be an upgrade. And there are some of them moving from the specialist, generalist to specialist cadre for that matter. So most of the time, it's actually a known issue within the timeline they have that, okay, this person had gone on this kind of a program, and all of them, as it were, if they are more than 1, 2, or 3, and they are going to finish maybe around September, they are sure that they're going to finish September, and the personnel budget will have been done earlier before that time. So meaning if they come in or come back into service around maybe October, and they have all the certificate, not even to whom it may concern, and whatever, and a personnel budget, maybe a PMB is done on that, or an upgrade actually done within the PMB period, maybe around December or thereabouts. So now, the implication of it is between January of that year and December of that next year they're going to have, because a personnel budget has been done, what will be the missing link? How would they justify around that a whole year that they will spend not having that justification, the financial justification for what they have done, if and when a PMB has been done and an approval for that has been sanctioned to it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me start from the first one. If you look at all these things, fine, I know is a public servant language that we call some cadre sub. When you look at the schemes, you will not see where they recognize any cadre as a sub cadre. Look at the scheme very well. You will see, that's what I'm saying. If you are saying executive officers general duties is a sub cadre of admin, are you saying clerical officer is a sub cadre of executive officer? Fine, we are using it because when you are looking up that I want to be this, I'm here, and I want to be in a cadre that will be able to reach climax, that is level 17. That's when people start using that word. Because when you look at the skills from A to Z, you will not see where they recognize a cadre as a sub. You see, in service, we'll be using executive officer as a sub of admin, and executive officer account as a sub of finance. And I'm asking you, what is the sub cadre for executive? Is it clerical? We are using it. I know it's a public service language, but I'm telling you that when you look at it, they recognize everything as a cadre. They call it cadre. And they did not call anyone, even a watchman, a messenger is a cadre. So it's only in service that we use that language, that one cadre is a sub cadre. Then your question too, where you have about this thing, when you look at the scheme, the 2000 scheme, when you look at page 191, and you talk about what are the prerequisites you must have to be a senior accountant. When you look at paragraph 3.3, it says, by direct appointment of a candidate possessing professional qualification of any of the following accounting bodies: Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN. 3.2, Association of Certified and Corporate Accountants, ACCA. Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, ICMA. Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy, CIPFA. Institute of Certified Public Accountant, ICPA. By direct appointment of a candidate that possessing that. And it did not say by a direct appointment of the candidate possessing BSc purpose professional qualification. It says if you have those qualifications, you are entitled to be placed on grade level 10. That's what the scheme says as of today. And this is the scheme we are using. So if we are now changing it, fine. But as of today, that's what the scheme says. And I know of an officer that have applied for that. And we put up our submission when I was in the start. We put out the submission. We attached the relevant area. And if you look at it, page 191 in 2006, it's well explained that by direct appointment of the candidate possessing that. So if we now change it, that's another thing. Then your third question, when you are talking about the issue of, you see, in service, what normally happens is that when you are a medical officer in the generalist and you have passed part 1, after a year, if you have passed part 1, they move you to grade level 13. After a year, they advance you to 14. And you'll be placed on 15 and recognized as a consultant when you pass part 2. When you pass that part 2, that one is professional exam. We are talking about academic qualification. The academic qualification you apply, you can see even the medical officers, when they apply for 6 years, that they want to go for this program. We have seen a situation where some of them spend 12 years and they do not pass. They will remain on that 14 until now that the system says if you are in a generalist cadre and you did not pass to be a consultant, they should allow you to continue with your promotion. They did not say they should change it to consultant. They said you should continue to remain in that your generalist until you pass. Because when you look at the salary of level 15 and the salary of level 15 and the salary of a consultant level 70, because once you pass, you will be entitled to specialist allowance. But the question is that if they don't pass, there's no provision for it. Even at the PMB, their own style is that once you pass, they are going to give you your certificate to show that you have passed. But likewise, we are saying in our own system here that you must show your certificate that you have passed. It's not an issue. There's nobody that will pass the part 2 to be a consultant and you will not come up with your certificate and they will convert you and they will advance you. You must show the evidence that you have. And that's what we are saying, that how do you want us to make provision for an officer who have not passed? You must have passed and show your certificate. Because if you are we have seen a situation where they make provision for an officer because you have completed the program and is awaiting Senate approval, and they ask you to present your result. Even at the Civil Service Commission now, if you don't present your certificate, go and ask those who are the LAPCA. If you don't present your certificate, I'm not talking about statement of result now. If you don't present your certificate, they are not going to employ you. Go and ask them. Those who are project staff there that did the exam last time, they ask them to go back to their school and collect their certificate before they can be given an appointment letter. So it has get to that level that you must have some, because they realize that we have a lot of people. Do you remember that there was a time that you have a lot of people that they are coming with the fake results? If you recollect, those of us that joined the service in year 2000, you will take your result to Shangisha, office of the SSS, to submit your document, and they will ask you to come back in a week time. If you are with a fake result, you will not go there to collect your result. So I think because of that issue, that's why they are asking people to present their certificate and make sure you are through with the program. Not that you are saying that to women, awaiting Senate appointment, is that a result? Should we make provision for that? But the medical officer you are talking about, before you two will not face the PMB if you don't have that certificate. You will not face the PMB because it's something they can clarify at that sitting. So they will double it online and tell you whether you are passed. If you have not passed, you will not present yourself as a consultant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Any question? Mr. Awesa, are you okay with that response? Mr. Awe, do you still have any question? You can unmute yourself or you put your hand down. Okay.
I have another question here. Somebody asked question. Engineer Williams.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going there now. I just want to clear the hands. So Engineer Williams said, okay, I think I'm reading this message question then. What is that question again?
Hello, Mr. Jamiu.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I couldn't unmute myself before. That was why I sent a message to you that you should mute me. I think I'm done
okay.
now. Now,
Okay, sir.
there's a last clarification I want to make. Thank you, Mr. Tubu, for the authority and the knowledge sharing. We appreciate you. Sir, I actually, I said it was an observation I needed to make. All of those three questions I asked, just for clearance. But the other part of it that I still want you to help us to do, and I'm sure those who are leaders are on this call also and listening to that, it's a kind of a consistent or a kind of permanent stereotype we've gotten. And you actually assert to that. That is the issue of the sub-KEDA. There should be something to move around that, and that is to speak to, is either it's a circular, it's also a memo, or a kind of a knowledge sharing like this. Because I still know within some balance, within some MDs, they still call this sub-KEDA, and it still exists like that. And I still had one or two PMBs like that we have attended to. And especially even in our procurement as it were, it is still called sub-KEDA, even in PMB up till now. So this erroneous issue that we have within the service, we should try and clear it up so that it doesn't become a permanent thing that we'll always be speaking to until when people like you and those people who knows about it are off the service, and it will continue to be a permanent thing that we'll still be speaking to in another decades to come. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir, Mr. Awe. You can put your hand down. Mr. Otubu, are you still with us, sir?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, sir. So let me check the chat box. I think I'm looking, there is one question someone asked here. One Uni before engineer. So I'm trying to see if I can retrieve that question back. I saw the question briefly, but I'm coming, sir. Okay, yeah, Omotayo Idris. He said, or she said, under which provision can one place monthly running costs given to staff? I don't know if you get that question, sir.
Yes. That one is under overhead now. It's overhead. That's why I said when you look at recurrent expenditure divided into two, overhead and personnel. So that running cost, that's why I said that running cost is not additional salary. It's for the running of the office. So that one falls under overhead. That running cost is under overhead.
Okay, thank you, sir. So back to Engineer William Solanrewaju question. So he said, question for clarification. Under hazard allowance, based on the nature of your job, whether in the field or in the hospital, why is it that engineers are not given hazard allowance? Because most engineers in ministry or agency work on field and obtain their technical reports based on the field. I don't know if you get that, sir.
Yes, I get it. You see, when we are talking about the allowances, it has to do with justification. It has to do with justification. Now, another thing I want to understand is that you mentioned engineers, and I'm still on it. Engineer is not a cadre. Let us be specific. Be specific the type of engineers we are talking about. But the question is that there must be justification for it. Even all the allowances we are talking about, the representatives of the staff as National Council of Establishment, they will justify it. And if you want it to be a state issue, there must be a submission from the parent ministry to a staff, to Mr. Governor, through the head of service to Mr. Governor, to justify it. Why the following people, the category of engineers should be paid hazard allowance. You must justify it. All allowances being paid is true justification, and people will defend it. It's not an issue of I assumed. Let me tell you, we have some engineers that don't go out, and we have some engineers that are going out. It's only the justification where you will be able to, a staff will invite you, they will look into it, they will invite some PSO will look into it, and they will justify it before they can seek the approval of Mr. Governor. It's not an issue of just assume that because engineer must go out, they must be. Even look at, let me give an example of the last man. They justify it before they start paying their shift allowance and hazard allowance. So the head of the agency, the parent ministry, need to write for justification before they can be paid.
Oh, thank you, sir. Mr. Engineer Williams again. He said, I need more clarification on notional dates and effect on the increase in step. If some did conversion successfully last year, the conversion letter says the notional date has changed from the initial date before conversion, which was July 1st, but now changed to January. When is the new step going to be reflected on your payslip? I don't know if you get that, sir.
Yes. You see, you said you did your promotion and your conversion last year. And you are given, if you are given 1-1.
You are not audible, sir. It's not clear, sir.
Okay,
it's clear now.
if you did your conversion last year and you are given 1-1, if you are given 1-1-2025, so that means your step will change 1-1-2026 after a year. You know, if you join the service and your step is 1-7 and you did conversion, the time they approve your conversion may automatically change your notional date. You know, we have two notional dates. Either you are 1-1 or 1-7. If you join service from 2nd of July to 31st December, you are 1-1. If you join the service 2nd of January to 30th June, you are 17. So you need to know where you belong to. But immediately you are a year on that level, with effect from the date given to you, your national date, ordinarily your step must change. If you have all evidence and you feel your step not change, that's why there's a monthly audit in all the ministry. You need to inform your auditor that my national date, and I observe that my step not change. So they will look into it and change it.
Okay, thank you, sir. So after this, we have only one, 2 questions to take again before we round it up. Meanwhile, you can click on our link to join our Telegram group, so that you can follow us to know updates about the program. Now, let me take on Temitope Violet. She said, if there is no sub-cadre, why is a grade level 08 admin officer listed on attendance of a meeting before the executive? Yeah, I think it's executive.
No, I understand what you're trying to say.
Okay, before grade level 14
Yes.
executive cadre.
You know, what I'm saying is that, get me right. What I'm saying is that if you look at the scheme, they did not recognize any cadre as sub. They did not recognize any cadre. I've not read it in the scheme to see. We have different cadres. And in service, we have some cadre, their point of entry is level 8 to level 17. And we have some cadre, there is level 06 to level 14. We have some cadres from level 4 to level 7. While we have some cadre from level 1 to level 4. So we have different cadres. And even when we are preparing the personnel budget, we always consider admin, executive. But what I'm trying to say is that if presently the point of entry of executive officer is now higher executive officer grade level 08, either general duty or finance and account. You see, the cadre is from 8 to 14, and they cannot prepare a nominal where they will be preparing admin executive. They always consider all from directors move to a cadre up to the lowest cadre, and they move to another cadre. Have you seen a situation? That's what I'm asking you a question. That is it possible for you to say clerical cadre is a sub cadre of executive general duty? Let's assume we have a clerical in that meeting, and they are holding the meeting with you. You see, the way they will prepare it is admin, executive, clerical. But what I'm saying is that if you look at it, it's a service language to say one cadre is a sub cadre, and it's only between admin and executive we always call one is a sub cadre, and between engineer and technician we call. Have you seen a situation where you call that, for example, messenger is a sub cadre of a clerical? No. That's what I'm explaining to you, that it's only between admin and executive or engineer and technician that we start calling one is a sub of one, and it's creating a problem. And that's what I'm saying. I said it, that is system language. Let me call it that way. That is a public service language to call work that. Look at the.
We can't hear you, sir. Hello, Mr. Otubu. Hello.
I'm with you.
Okay. You are audible now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you everyone for joining us. Please, to confirm truly that you every one of us, we enjoy Mr. Otubu's lecture. I will need someone to just raise he or she hand up and give us appreciation message to Mr. Otubu. Please, any question you have now, send it to our platform. It's either the WhatsApp platform or the Telegram. And for the slide, we have sent it to all our platforms, so you can check it there. And okay, oh, nice. Mrs. Bolanle Shobanjo, unmute yourself and give us the appreciation message.
Okay, good evening, esteemed HR professionals. On behalf of everyone on this platform, I would like to appreciate Mr. Ebenezer Otubu for this brilliant presentation. Thank you very, very much. God bless you, and we pray that your knowledge will not diminish in Jesus' name. And also, I would like to appreciate the fact that the slides were sent before the presentation. It's really allowed us for quick understanding, and we're able to follow him, with his presentation. Thank you. So going forward, we appreciate if we could get the slides before the presentation so that we could go through it and be able to get along with the presentation. So once again, thank you so much, Mr. Otubu, and have a good evening.
Okay.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the committee that organized this program, I really appreciate you, and I think I'm always available and to be part of it so that we can move the service to the higher level. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. So Mrs. Bolanle have said it all. Thank you every one of us for joining this call, and thank you once again. So be expecting more from us, from Public Service Knowledge Hub. So let me leave you now to go and rest and prepare for tomorrow's work. Mr. Otubu, thank you very much, Aigbon. Thank you
very
for
much, and
every
God bless.
time. Always, you ginger, you always support me. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you. Mr. Awe, Mr. Adelaja, thank you very much, man. Thank you, all of us. Bye.
Bye.
So I will send the recording version audio to the platform for those who are not on the call. So I hope nobody was kicked out this time around. So bye. Have a lovely night's rest. Thank you all.